rebuild or the favorites. We here for the latest. South side or the north side, not tuned to the greatest. Home team for the home teams. Both sides got our own rings. On the mound or the long ball, but we don't put the wrong strings. Yeah. It's that time of the year now. Wrigley or guarantee, so the whole league that we hear now. New show with a new mood. Discussions and interviews. Straight rumors that might be. This is Pinwheels and Knife.
Man, is that music to my ears? Let me tell you boys that. So let's give this a go for old time's sake. What's going on, everybody? It is Monday, October 20th, and you have found the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. I'm your host, Matt Zawoski, a.k.a. Father Zoe, a.k.a. the Prodigal Son, a.k.a. Father Zoe, Pope Zoe, whatever you want to go with. With me, as always, my man, Aldo Soto.
Zoe, let me be the first to welcome you back to the podcast and airwaves. It's been way too long. Not just for you, but for all of us. Shout out to Mitch carrying the pod for the past year.
Oh, God, I owe that kid a steak dinner or something. And all the way from Vegas, the good Reverend K. Fids.
Let me be the last one to welcome you back, Zoe. Holy shit, it's great to be back, guys. Seriously, it's a Monday night, which is a little bit more of a rarity, but the band is back together. You know, last thing we need now is Nuke just rolling in here, and then we'll have Nuke and Mitch and then trouble starts. But no, it's good to be back, and it's good to see you guys too. Obviously, been a little bit too long as far as face to faces, but we've still been sending each other dick pics, so it's fine.
It is. By the way, you might want to go get that checked out.
Oh yeah. It's just a mole.
Or
was it a tattoo?
So we do got a good show. I'm sure there's a lot of people curious as to my whereabouts for the last little bit, but we're going to get to that in the middle of the show. I still know how to do teasers. In the middle of the show. Tonight we really want to focus on the season that happened and the season that's coming down the line. So the first part of the show, we are going to look at the Chicago Cubs. We have a special guest coming on with us, Kenny, who is the biggest Cubs fan in Dallas, among so many other things. The numbers this guy puts up going to Cubs games makes you local fans look like jerks. And then we're going to –
Oh,
yep, that's I've looked at that picture a lot. And then there is a rumor. We have him on like the tracker, like Santa Claus at Christmas, because he's been in the skies all day today, that young Mitchell – NASCAR Mitch will be joining us for the second half of the show to cover the White Sox part of the program. So
you can thank Amazon for that, by the way. Amazon's fault.
Yes, it is Amazon's fault. AWS, well, I had a good day because of it. But anyways, without further ado, though, the Cubs had themselves a great season. I think they did a little bit better than some people projected. Not everyone. I know that because I've read Fiddler's Twitter feed, but
it's a new app that's coming out next week. It's like Blue Sky mixed with Twitter, mixed with Grindr. It's a great.
And so
saving up a lot of jokes, guys. It's just
I've seen a lot of Cubs fans disappointed. I mean, it was pretty obvious in my eyes, and we'll get to it when I get to my turn, where the need for improvement is right off the bat. But all that said, again. Biggest Cubs fan in Dallas, Texas. I know that's kind of super random, but we've ran into this guy. Different members of Sports Mockery and Pinwheels and Ivy have ran into him in Wrigleyville a bunch of times, so much so that we decided, you know what, we need to have this guy on the show. He loves talking sports. And yeah, here we go. I'm going to bring him on. Here's Kenny. What's up, Kenny?
How we doing, everybody? Good evening.
Welcome aboard, Kenny.
Thank you.
So, Kenny, our guests get to go first here. So why don't you was this season a disappointment, or were you good with it, and why? I know it's disappointing not to have the World Series be your last game, but outside of how it ended, what was the season like overall for you as a Cubs fan?
Yeah, I mean, I think we did a lot of good things, and there's a lot of things that we could get better at, and I put together a bit of a list that just pretty clear of things that we can improve on. And, you know, for one, right off the bat for me is PCA proved that he's the best center fielder in the league. Right. I think there's some stats out there that he had 19 five-star catches where there's teams that didn't have more than 10 or 11. So Yeah. Yes.
I
Yes.
think the average team had 6 the whole year.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the guy can play center field. We know that, right? You can see it, the eye test. But the thing for me is that we need to see improvement is, and it was the last game at Wrigley, his next to last at bat was a microcosm of the last 3 months of the year for him, because the first 2.5 months we were saying MVP votes, right? Everybody's like, this guy's going nuts. And he was playing fantastic. But like I said, that next to last at bat, he swings at 91 up and out of the zone, not anywhere close. He takes 95 right down the middle, doesn't even think about swinging at it, right? Third pitch, they throw him some junk in the dirt, the check swing that wasn't a check swing, but he got rung up on, and he throws his hat, right? Throws the bat. And so to me, there's a couple things there. That swing at 91 up and out of the zone, that's not an approach where you go, I'm looking to drive something, right? That's me in Little League at 11 going, I'm swinging at this pitch no matter where it's at, right?
Yes.
And so to not be able to lay off of that pitch, knowing, and if I can see it from the sports bar that I'm at or my couch, how can our coaches not see it and go to him and be like, you got to focus your zone in, right? You've got to make a tighter zone. And you know what? If you have to hit with 2 strikes, then learn to hit with 2 strikes. But that's going to be the thing that's going to be the biggest improvement for him next year, is to be able to be more selective, make the pitchers come to him. As we saw, he had some great hits. He started to have some great hits. If we remember the RBI to the outfield, he hit one kind of a little flare out to left center. Then he ripped the one down the left field line. And so he can do it. We know he can do it. We just need to see that improvement, right? So great to see, because he can be a superstar, like a true superstar. And so that was the first thing for me. The next couple things were how good our defense was, right? Matt Shaw was a middle infielder. He proved that he can play third, a big league third. And he's a finalist. What did we have? 6 guys that are finalists for Gold Gloves, and Shaw's one of them. Learning the position and just playing it. Dude was there. And so Dansby, obviously, I want to get into his hitting too, but Dansby, obviously great. And in the playoffs, how many runs did he save us in both series? It was absolutely amazing to watch. And he makes everything look easy for the most part. So you go around the diamond, and then Nico obviously is great. So defensively wise, overall, I love that. I love the base running. I love the defense, because 2016, we won because of our defense and timely hitting, right? What did we not have this year? Timely hitting, right? And so it just, those kind of things are great to build on, but we just got to see the progression. And I briefly mentioned Dansby's hitting. When Dansby hits the ball to right center, he's lethal, but he doesn't do it very often. He pulls it and tries to pull it so much. And once again, these coaches, I don't know if it's Maley, I don't know who it is, if it's DK, but that's why they say play off the fastball. Try and hit it up the middle to right center. If you get off speed, then you pull that one. But Dansby wants to hit everything, it seems like, to the left side of the field. And so, how many times have we seen him drive something to right center or to the right field line, 2-run double, triple, knocking in a couple runs, right? That's when he's really good at the plate. And so I'm not knocking him because his defense. I just want to see that part of him get a little better, right? So and then you go back a little bit at the trade deadline. I think it was good and bad for us, and I mean those both in a positive way. And what I mean by that is it was good because Jed didn't give away everything. Because I think you guys know, I think we all heard pretty much the same story, whether the name was Mackenzie Gore or the starter in Minneapolis or Cabrera or the other guy down in Miami. The conversation with us started with Horton or Wiggins, Ballesteros or Casey, and then more. To me, that's a no. That's a no, because Wiggins most likely is going to be in the starting rotation next year. And so I don't want to give up, definitely didn't want to give up Horton, right? And so, if it's a buyer's or a seller's market like it was, I'm fine with Jed standing pat, right? The one guy that I want that we never really talked about was Mason Miller. Now, San Diego gave away their best prospect and a bunch of other stuff. So that would have included Wiggins or Horton for us. So, we did go get Kittredge. He had some big outs for us down the stretch. We got him for next year. good trade, right? Good trade.
Right.
And so, I like I said, it was good and bad for us. Bad because we couldn't make a really impactful move, but good that we didn't give away some of these young guys that are so good that will be big parts of the team moving forward.
I think that's what I mean. Looking back at that trade deadline, I know you mentioned it during the wild card series, Kevin, when Mason Miller was just striking everybody out, and it's like, why couldn't the Cubs be in the mix for that guy? And there was a back and forth conversation of like the Cubs just didn't have that level of prospect that the Padres had. And I remember during like that time when the conversations were like for Gore, like you mentioned before, Joe Ryan in Minnesota, Cabrera, Alcantara, and it was like they're going to want the top guys. Like when Washington traded Juan Soto to San Diego, they got like two MLB guys, and then they got like two more like top 20 prospects. And as much as we love Owen Casey, as much as we love a guy like Moises Ballesteros, who played himself on the playoff roster in September as like a 20-year-old guy whose only skill set is hitting, and he just proved it every time he was out there. The Cubs just sadly, and I mean, I get this does go back to, I mean, it's their own doing. They're the ones putting together these drafts, the international signings. It's been 4 or 5 years. They just haven't had those top guys were Horton and Shaw. It's like, and they're ready to compete, and they're not stockpiled like the Padres are, like the Dodgers, some of these teams. They couldn't afford to do that. I'm with you. It's frustrating. I'm with you, Kevin. I would love Mason Miller, but there's just like Owen Casey wasn't going to get it done. Like it just wasn't going to happen.
It's the package.
What my biggest beef was? What I told you guys this too. Like when I spoke to somebody, from the organization, that there was a path. Like there was a path. What the path was might not have been worth it for the Cubs to flood out and to chop out, but there was a path that if the Cubs try again, it's kind of like with Shohei. I mean, there could have been a path there, but $500 million offer is not going to make it in a $700 million world. Like you've got to have the disc. You got to have the prospects. You've got to be able to take that risk. And I think for the Cubs, it probably for Jed, it was too thick for his own blood, and it just wasn't enough. Like he couldn't handle it because it would have taken all 5 of the top 4s. Like it would have taken all the top 4 guys minimum plus an additional ready player right now, like a major league ready guy. Not going to happen. Now that just for me, I just get pissed because I'm like, I've wanted Mason Miller for like 2 years, and last year they said there's no way he was unavailable last year, and like then he's available. I'm like, but Padres have the thicker blood, and they had the better prospect, so
that was it exactly for me. Is you're not giving away Horton and Wiggins, and I think they wanted both, and they definitely started with that. And then, if we're trading Ballesteros, to your point, although he doesn't have a position. He's not going to play catcher. If we can improve our team hugely by trading a bat that's going to be a DH in the American League or even National League, fine. Now, I'm for it, right? But I'll tell you this, and this is something that's probably a bit of a shock. I think the best thing for us is for Owen Casey to be the next Kyle Tucker. I mean, because if he can come in. And obviously not right away, but to grow into that over the next 15 to 18 months, that would be pretty impactful. And we've come to the realization that the Cubs most likely aren't giving away the $400-500 million contract. That's another story for another day.
No, stop there, Kay, because I want to hear this from the 3 of you, because that's the big, you heard, Fiddler's boyfriend talk about that. Oh, he's signing with the Cubs, believe that, or whatever the fuck his name was, and all that other stuff. No. I want to hear it from you.
Hector, go.
Because, as someone watching from the outside looking in, Tucker had a really rough second half of the season.
For sure.
And for a guy asking for $500 million, that was a rough second half of the season, And so I guess my question to you, and I'll start with you, Kenny, is one, do you want the Cubs to re-sign him? And 2, where are you coming in money-wise with it?
So you already have to know what's there and what your sunk costs are and what your removable objects are.
Yep.
You've got Ian Happ's not going anywhere for a couple years. I think he's got at least 2 years left in a no movement clause. We've covered PCA, so I'm not even going to approach that.
Right.
Saya, I think last year finished top 20 in OPS, and the knucklehead that's on ESPN Chicago in the morning tried to tell me he's not an impact bat one day, and he had a really good second half. Is he Ronald Acuna? No, but is he 90% of that? Yes, he is. And so Saya's not really going anywhere. PCA's not going anywhere. Hap's not going anywhere. Do we want to pay $430 to $480 for a part-time DH, part-time right fielder? I don't know. Right now I would say no, because I think there's more money that needs to be spent in other places. You look at our bullpen and how some of these guys overperformed, and let's get some of those guys on the back end. I love what Daniel Poincia did, but we all know what his problem is if he doesn't throw strikes, it's a problem. But if he throws strikes, he's great. And Thielbar, Brad Keller, we got to bring both of those guys back. And I want to add, 2 more arms back there at least that are impact arms. And there's guys every year that get signed that are not, some $20 million player, not some break the bank guy. There's a couple guys that you can put on the back end of the bullpen that shorten the game, right? And that's what San Diego did. Granted, San Diego lost, right? But we've seen that success work in the playoffs, whether it was Houston a couple years ago, the Dodgers, whatever it is, right? And so, anyway, if it was unlimited and we had a clear open spot, then I would say yes, I want Tucker back. But I don't.
I think. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish your point.
You're good. I just don't know that if anything, it would stunt anything that Owen Casey's going to do. Now, Kyle Tucker's a proven asset, right? But he's a proven asset at $40 million a year. And, the Cubs shouldn't be looking at cutting cost, but Owen Casey at his age, going into the prime of what it could be a really good career. Like I said, that would be the best case scenario for the Cubs.
And so the funny thing to me is, it's not really funny because I've seen this on my own team on the South Side, though. But if I were to ask this question at the All-Star break, all 3 of you would have just given me a resounding, "Oh, hell yeah, back up the Brinks truck."
No question about it.
Yes, Kevin, think about how we felt last December when they did that. Because it happened in 1 week. I remember it was Dana Brown was first talking about Kyle Tucker. He was asked about it, and they're like, he's kind of wishy-washy. Like, oh, I don't know, we're open to all talks. Then 2 days later, we get the reports Cubs and Astros are in talks. 2 days later, they get the trade. We got a top 10 hitter, top 10 player in baseball. 28 years old, all-star, Zoe's like that. I think that was Zoe's favorite player, outside of the Sox for years.
My favorite non-White Sox player, man. The guy, he was the goods in Houston.
You look at the numbers, 30 home runs every year. I remember writing out the numbers and seeing how it was. We were getting Chris Bryant again. We were getting prime Chris Bryant again. Yeah. It's all right, here we go.
We did in the first 3 months.
And we did. And going back to the original questions, though, how do we feel about this Cup season? It goes hand in hand with Kyle Tucker. It feels what could have been. It feels incomplete. He was so great. He was top 5 hitter into July.
All right, and just so everybody tuning in now, we got our friend Kenny here, one of the biggest Cubs fans and friend of the program down there in Dallas. Also, I see a lot of you in the comment section. As I mentioned before the show started, we're going to do the Cubs segment then. And then I'll tell you all about my witness protection program, and then we'll do the White Sox part there. And to answer Mailman Jack's question here, so Kenny, I have this thing called the 30 rack scale. You judge a man on how much you would like to sit down and drink 30 beers with him.
Okay.
For example, Lance Lynn scores very high on the 30 rack scale.
Yes.
Brad Keller, on the other hand, I might give Brad Keller half a warm beer. Not a fan of him. Not a fan. I know he did good work.
Not biased at all.
Not biased at all. I know he did good work for the Cubs. It's just his days with the Royals just really – I'll never forget those days. He gets half a warm beer that someone may or may not have dip spit in.
So why did the year with the Royals come into the equation? That's what I need to know.
So I don't know if you remember at the peak of Tim Anderson's tenure.
It was the start, though. It was the start.
Which was also the peak. he was having too much fun for Brad Keller's liking.
Okay.
And Brad Keller made it public, and it was a whole thing, and it was just.
I think he drilled TA after
he drilled him pretty good, and it wasn't a White Sox fans. When we band together on social media, it usually when the torches come out, they come out a lot. So Brad Keller, just anytime I hear that name, I'll just think of that. And so it was weird watching him pitch for the Cubs. Like I watched all the playoff games, and I was just like, oh Jesus, fuck, it's Brad.
Well, that was the thing, though. Not only pitch for him, he was their most important.
He was nuts. He was the nuts. I know, and I was just like, oh God. Oh,
so I can't confirm that Lance Lynn is a dude. One of my good buddies is a clubhouse attendant for the Rangers, and he said one of the best dudes ever was.
What a win! What a win for Zoe.
There you go.
That's a 30 rack and a shot on a rating.
There you go.
And just for Steve Stone, we might mix in a salad too.
With a little chest hair sprinkled in, like
that's right. That's right.
Although I think I like where you were going with that, though, how the Cubs season seemed to go, parallel to Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, but it's like how Kenny was saying. It's like you look at it now, and like you said, if you would have told us, back in the All-Star break, and we're having this conversation, do you want Kyle Tucker back? The obvious answer is, of course. Like, yeah, pay him. He's a superstar. And then he has those couple months where he had the finger injury. He changes his mechanics. He wasn't just bad, though. He was the worst hitter in baseball for like 6 weeks.
Yeah, no, believe me, I got daily updates.
It was awful. And then he gets benched because he's not running out ground balls against the Brewers. He gets benched for 3 games, comes back, and then he's on fire again for 2 weeks. And then he gets hurt again. And it's like, come on! And then he doesn't look right in the playoffs. And he hits a home run. It's the Brewers. And it's like, all right. And then he had the chance. He had his moment in Game 5, 5th inning.
Oh yeah.
Relievers up, first and second. This is it. This is where the Cubs can come back. And he strikes out, and you're like, that's it. That's the lasting memory of Kyle Tucker. All his good work. That's what he's known for.
What really sucks though about it too is that last year he didn't play a full season. So full season 162 conditioning isn't there regardless this year. Right. And he gets banged up, and he does the first 3 months of the season. He's one of the best hitters, if not the best hitter in the National League. And then he hits like a wall. And here's what I look at it. I look at Kyle Tucker, and I'm still on the pay him. You don't get that many opportunities to get a bat like that. You pay the guy anyway. You don't throw out the baby with the bathwater because he was banged up a little bit. You wonder, because he was still good last year banged up. He just didn't play. What did he start the season in July last year? So he only had a couple. So his regular season, full season conditioning was less than even like Pete Crow Armstrong's. Pete played a fuller season last year than he did. So it does take adjustment periods for these guys. And I'm going to tell you right now, playing for Chicago, I almost feel like you need a 1-year adjustment period to adapt to everything, whether it's the greatness of the fans at times and the shittiness of the Cub fans at times. Cub fans, make no mistake about it. Seiya Suzuki was traded by certain Cub fans all over the place 50,000 times this season. Yeah. Everyone, they're quick to turn their back on you after 2 weeks of struggles. So it's tough there, but it's also a group that can uplift you when you're running hot. They love you. You can walk into any place in the city and not have to worry about paying for, a dinner. But with him, you've got to take that adjustment period. And I don't think we saw enough of him to not pay him. I don't like, it sucked him struggling so poorly, especially, the hustle stuff is more problematic. That's a red flag. I don't like the idea of him tuning out. That shit bothers me. But I also look at a guy that maybe sees the writing on the wall and is going to take one of these Bregman contracts where they take that first year opt out. The Cubs may be able to go out and get him for a fairly inexpensive front or back loaded contract where then there's an opt out. He proves it, and then it comes right on back.
I'm seeing obviously the Dodgers now. They're obviously rumored that they're going to go after him. And I saw some Dodgers fans saying they'll just give a front loaded contract, give him $45 million a year. But unfortunately, guys, we are probably heading towards another lockout.
Yep.
I think Kyle Tucker, any guy, Bregman, he's gonna opt out, or he already opted out. These guys are gonna look for a long contract. They're not gonna be messing around because they don't know what that new CBA is gonna look like.
Right.
So I think Kyle Tucker's, and again, all glory to him. Get your money, big guy.
Yeah.
But it saddens me as a guy who's always been pay the stars, get the stars. I want the Cubs. Hey, that trade I would still do it 100 times out of 100 to get a player like Kyle Tucker.
I too.
But man, it sucks having the feeling of like not being all in on wanting that guy back.
Here's the ironic part too. Watch. You'll see this. Go 365 days from now, and we'll have this discussion. Just like everybody was, no big deal. Cody Bellinger sucks. We don't need him. What was the messaging the last half of the season? Why did we trade him for nothing? What is the like? 6 months ago, you guys were like, "Fuck this guy. I don't like him. He's gone. Let him go. Who cares? He's not that good." And now he goes out there and mashes for the Yankees, and now it's like, what did we do? Why are we? It's the same people. The same people are complaining about and they were the ones that were like, we don't need him. And then like now it's like, why did you trade him? Like, we're going to be doing this in 365 days. If he signs with somewhere else, he's probably going to sign somewhere else. And he goes out and he lights it up. We're going to be like, oh, how could we do this shit? But then when you go and look at like social media, everybody was like, F you, Kyle Tucker. You suck. Like it was. I
do have to say,
we're going to regret it. I think if we don't go and pay him, or at least make a run. I mean, someone might pay him more. I mean, if someone overpays and the Cubs don't overpay, I mean, what can you do? You know,
Kenny, what are your thoughts on? I think it's especially left-handed hitters, and we saw with Cody Bellinger in 2024, and Kyle Tucker. I mean, he had his just the whole second month of Kyle Tucker was bad, but left-handed power hitters just did not hit for power for the Cubs. Have not been hitting for power with the Cubs at Wrigley Field. Jed Hoyer brought it up last year at the end of the year press conference. You know, he was made fun of, like, using the wind as an excuse. But, like, the numbers are there. That's a big reason why the Cubs pitching staff has benefited from Wrigley Field just being a pitcher's park now. Yeah. But that's, in turn, adversely affecting the offense. And you have these power guys that you want. You know, you have Dansby Swanson's talking about, I remember in September he was talking about, I haven't hit a double out. And you mentioned earlier how he hasn't been hitting the ball to right field, right center. He's like, I haven't had a double in like months here. They're trying, you would hope, a little. But like, it's just, it's too constant now where it's like Wrigley Field, the wind is just blowing in every game. Guys can't hit home runs. And when you can't hit home runs, you're not going to win. That's just baseball now.
Right.
So like it brings into question, do you commit $40 million a year to Kyle Tucker if he's going to hit 25 home runs a year instead of 35, 40?
Yeah, I mean that's the magic question, right? And I don't know that there's a perfect answer for it. You know, like I said, and the one thing I'll go back to, when he got hurt in June with his finger being hurt, there needed to be an adult in the room and go, okay, let's take a little time off and get healthy. Okay.
Yes.
Because
that's the Cubs MO all the way going back to KB, even to the. I mean, we could talk about this all day long with KB because the pressure to play by the actual franchise with these guys that probably needed to sit for a couple weeks is excessive sometimes. And I'm going to tell you that from 100% from KB, who now has a spinal cord that's basically like a fused, you know, looks like a Mortal Kombat spinal cord at this point right now. Like he's, I mean, to barely move, and a lot of that has to do with playing through things that he should never have played through. And that's across the board. You see that with guys like that come through. Like there's a lot of pressure to play. And Tucker should have sat. The big kids, the adults in the room should have said, dude, just shut it down for a couple weeks until you're back. It's cool. We can handle it while you're away. But that's
we were cooking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, take a couple days off, take a week off, take 10 days off, you know, and then we all knew, we could tell that he was hurt. And somebody brought up his mechanics and he was swimming up there.
He was adjusting. Yeah, he was trying to like go out of it. Yeah. So,
and then we brought up about sitting down Seiya. If you remember last year, Seiya got benched and actually came out of it and was playing great. And so you need, and to both of your points, you need of the pressure from the Cubs and Wrigley and all that, right? The fans, maybe you do need a little mental break because we all know 162 is a mammoth, right? And so, yeah, I hated to see him play the way that he played for that long. You know, a 2-week slump, okay, 3-week slump, but I mean, this was 10 weeks, 11 weeks, right?
Yeah.
So he was never right. And then when the article comes out that he was hurt, we're just like, yeah, no shit.
Everyone knew. It was like the worst kept secret.
Thank you.
Like,
Thank you. So anyway.
So All right, that's from the plate, but ending the year with Matthew Boyd as your best pitcher. Now,
Monzel.
there's got to be some wish list items when it comes to the mound next year, or is there someone coming up that you got your eye on?
Well, Jackson Wiggins. Everybody says he has better stuff than Kate Horton, and we saw what Horton could do.
Yep.
So you called
He's healthier.
you called Boyd our best pitcher. I guess you didn't watch the games that Horton pitched down the stretch, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'm going off of WAR. I'm going off of
Best,
WAR.
I was gonna say best healthy pitcher at the end.
I'm going off
Best
of
guy
WAR.
left standing.
Guy that played a postseason inning when we needed them
There you
most.
So,
Well,
Kenny,
that's-
just so you know, Ian in the comments here, he's our minor league specialist. Ian knows all about minor league baseball. So if Ian says Wiggins is a dog, that's a very big thing. That's a huge compliment.
I like
So-
Ian already. Thank you,
Yeah.
Ian. Thanks for backing me
Ian.
up.
Kenny,
Hey,
if you remember back to Cade Horton before, let's see, back in 2023, his first year down in the minor leagues. I mean, they were taking it very easy with him. He wasn't getting past like 50, 60 pitches.
Yep.
Even before they finally were ramping him up, coming back from the shoulder this year, he was finally getting up into the 70s right before they called him up in May. Jackson Wiggins, I think he pitched like 5 times in the past 3 months. They completely just like shut him down for weeks at a time.
Yeah.
It was never really made clear like exactly why. It was just kind of like, oh, we're managing the workload, but it was like excessive.
Yeah.
I think he pitched like June 20 something, pitched until after the All-Star break. So that was a month off. And then he pitched 3 more times at AAA or something. It was ridiculous. Like I have no idea. I'm with you. I think he's going to be part of the picture, obviously, right? He's going to be one of the guys, Craig Counsell says we just need out-getters, right? I think he's going to be part of that mix. I just have no idea for how many outs he's going to get. Like I have no idea if they're prepping him for like 50 innings, 100 innings, no clue. But the stuff does seem better than Horton, at least from the clips that we see, the analysts that pay closer attention.
I mean, we all know Justin Steele's coming back, and before he got hurt, he was up in the Cy Young voting, right? So he's a very top of the end guy. Shota concerns me a little bit because he obviously had a kind of a rough end of the year. Can he bounce back? Does he need one of these mental resets to go get away from baseball the next couple of months, then come back fresh, and be ready to go next year? Boyd obviously all-star year, pitched more innings than he did his entire career.
Yeah.
Talion's still in play. Obviously Horton, and we want him to come back. So, there's going to be some guys out there. We saw the news of Scooble. We're definitely not going to go do that. But the Framber Valdez from Houston, that's somebody that could be in play. There's a lot of lefties in that rotation, but if there's a path, and we think that the move to make is to bring Kyle Tucker back, then I think you have to move Casey to answer that question, because you're use that value of Casey if you're going to hang on to Tucker to go get somebody impactful, whether that's a young arm, one of these guys that we mentioned early in the broadcast here, or and then use some of that money to go get those bullpen guys, the 7th, 8th inning guys. Bring back Thielbar. We'll bring back Keller. We won't tell you. So we'll tell you that secretly. We'll keep it a secret.
Yeah.
We'll announce it on opening day.
Kevin, I saw you smiling when you brought up Schoolball. Who you trading for Schoolball for a year? Schoolball.
That's my guy that I've been like going with every
I
time
know.
we do
1 year of them. What are you trading, Kevin?
Mo Baller.
Well, let me tell you, it's going to start with Cade Horton, Matt Shaw. So
Yep.
who else are you adding on to that?
Well, you know what, Matt Shaw. If we can go, if Bregman opts out, and then there's a
Okay.
But I don't know. I'm getting less loyal as this offseason goes on. No, God, that's a lot to ask for. He's so good.
Oh, sorry to interrupt, but the big dumper just took a huge dump.
Ooh.
3-1
Kenny,
there.
2-1.
Kenny, Kevin, and
Cal Raleigh, dude.
Gizo.
Big dumper.
I wanted to ask you guys, it's been, a couple weeks removed now. What do you guys make of I mean, Imanaga had, gave the home run to Machado in Game 2 in the wild card series. Otherwise, he pitched fine. 4 innings, 2 runs that game. He got blown up against the Brewers, and then the Cubs just did not use him in Game 5 at all. I think it was the day before. I think Mark Silverman on ESPN 1000 was on the radio, and he's like, from what I'm hearing inside the room is like they're scared to use him. They're not going to use him unless it's an emergency. And as we saw in the game, I think he warmed up a couple times.
I was listening when he said that. I was listening when he said that. Yep.
And it was probably just like to get out, if there are 2 outs in an inning, to get out a lefty, but he never came into the game. He has that weird contract where, he has an option, the Cubs have an option. Right now it's not a guarantee that the Cubs pick it up. They probably will.
Right.
It's not really a guarantee. I think it goes back to Steele, how confident they feel, how soon they feel he's going to come back. If Horton, if the rib issue, if it was just a minor thing, But that was very jarring. You're talking about a guy who's, came over from Japan and was one of your best pitchers last year. This year, obviously, he just fell off once he came back in the summer, and he gave up at least 1 home run in 11 straight games.
Yeah.
Oh, bad. That's what we feared. So remember we were talking about when the Cubs signed him? It's like this could get really bad if he starts giving up home runs over and over and over again, and that's what he started doing.
Yeah.
That sucks even more than the Kyle Tucker one you can excuse. It's not a good excuse, but you can excuse how are you going to give him $400 million? But this is now an uncomfortable conversation about Imanaga. It's like, do you bring him back? Are you confident that he's a sub-3 ERA guy?
What did we say?
Is he the second half guy?
When he first started here and we broke down his pitching and we had all these videos from Japan and all this shit, we're like, he doesn't throw hard. If he doesn't locate, it's going to
get crushed.
And he just hasn't been locating, and he's been getting fucking crushed.
Right.
And
so did he forget how to locate, or is he just not executing? That's the question you got to answer.
I think I would imagine I'm not a pitching coach, but there's probably something small in his mechanics that they could tweak, or maybe you get a whole offseason worth of hey, you can't do that. That might help him out, but
stop doing that.
But it was like everything across the board. Like the big pitch from last year was the splitter. This year, guys weren't chasing. I guess the fastball. You can say he wasn't executing. He left out all those fastballs when it was supposed to be out of the zone. They were still at the top of the zone.
92-mile-an-hour fastballs. Yes.
and that's the other thing, though. It's like the margin of error for him, because I think he was still. I think last year he only averaged 92 on his fastball. It's it wasn't like he would hit 93, 94 when he was amped.
Right.
But this year it'd be consistently down 91.
But I
90.
We're
we're heading into Kyle Hendricks, last couple of years with the Cubs territory, where it's like he's just going to get crushed.
I don't think
you almost see it coming. You almost see it coming. I saw him last summer. I actually was unfortunately on the hottest freaking day of the year at Wrigley with no clouds and no sun. 99 degrees against the Mets. I got to sit through that shit on a Friday afternoon. Oh, that was this better not happen very often. And now it seems to be that might be where that was him missing his spots. He was leaving everything up that day.
I just remember.
Everything's elevated.
We'll get you in here, Kenny, but just that last thing that was so jarring. It's Game 5. Cubs need all hands on deck, and you don't use your guy who was your opening day starter to start the season.
Right.
It's a testament to how they felt about confidence in him.
Yeah.
Well, and I think there's 2 different things there. There's 2 different ways, because it's like PCA, the league caught up to him and figured out that they could throw trash, and he could swing it, right?
Luis Robert. Yeah.
He's what? Say it again.
I said Luis Robert.
Yes. And so that was the league catching up to him. So I don't, Shota's been around pro baseball long enough. I don't think it's something that the league caught up to him. I think, and it's kind of what you were talking to, Aldo, not locating, maybe losing some velocity, and the margin of error is so minute, right? And then you take a look at, and I brought it up earlier about, I didn't get to Shaw, but I'll bring it up now. Shaw did what PCA did last year, the last 2.5 months of the year. He hit, right? And we need to see that same that same progression continue for Shaw, like it did for PCA this next year, but have it go all year. Obviously, that's wishful thinking, and hopefully it can, and hopefully the league won't catch up to him. But those two paths for Shaw and PCA are very parallel. Whereas I think the Shota thing is, the scouting department's got to look at it and go, are we losing this guy? Is he losing a step? Whether it's I said it kind of tongue in cheek. He didn't forget how to locate, right? But if he is losing 1.5 miles an hour on his fastball, that's going to continue, right? And what are we going to want to hang on to this? Do we make that move? It's interesting, like you said, although if they don't pick up the option and then you replace him with somebody like a free agent and Framber Valdez, that's a huge upgrade. Huge. And
you bring a ground ball pitcher behind the defense. That's what you need at Wrigley. Well, exactly. When the wind's not blowing out, but yeah.
Exactly.
So, go ahead.
Just the velo thing is obviously the biggest concern you're going to look at. You're going to see a guy that doesn't. It's very hard to expect a player to go into an off season and add velo after losing velo, especially even at his. I mean, he's not an old fart or anything, but the body can only do so much. You can only add so much without taking away from other areas. And with him, when you see that drop, I mean, I didn't realize it was that drastic a drop, to be honest. I actually hadn't heard that number, and that to me is far more concerning.
And I guess maybe similar to Tucker, it's like, he had it was the hamstring strain. He was out for almost 2 months.
Well, then it was core early on too, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's once he came back, did he have his legs all there? Was it all back? Did he?
My bottom line here for the Cubs fans is you guys have a good core. You have a good team that's just missing a couple pieces. But then you watch these playoffs right now. Right now, Game 7, Seattle, Toronto, they throw out Kirby for 4 innings, and then they have Wu come in after him.
I mean,
you have to be able to have stud after stud after stud now.
If we look at the Dodgers.
Well, no, don't look at the Dodgers are a video game team that some kid is just fucking with us all from a higher power.
They have Roki Sadaki who's crying at his starts back in April, was in the minor leagues most of the year, and they just bring him back and he's their closer.
Lights out.
Because Tanner Scott sucked balls.
And then because Tanner Scott, they're Tanner Scott, we signed you. You suck.
So bad.
Well, and we wanted Tanner Scott. We were
bad.
He had a deal on his desk for 2 weeks waiting for the Cubs to drop something, and they didn't drop it till after he accepted the Dodgers deal. Yeah. That was I was furious, and now I feel like a jackass. I mean, that happens all the time, but
it does go back. But the point I do want to make with the Dodgers, though, you look at, they just have arms and arms and arms, and then this is the second year they're going to do it in a row where no one pitches. I think Yamamoto was the only guy who pitched more than 100 innings for them.
Yeah.
And it's they just have guys fresh in October now, and they're just going out.
It's a joke, dude. You can't even. If you play video games, you can't. They won't let you put that team together.
They're you're going to sit out just 1 month, real quick, just for a month. Just go ahead, and just hang out. Go home for a month and a half, and then come back in August. Hey, we'll see you in August. I
do think no matter what the Cubs do, even with we're hoping that Steele comes back. I am always weary of the first year back when guys come back from elbow issues. So I don't expect if Justin Steele's good in 2026, that's the cherry on top for me. If he gives any positive innings for you, that's great, because I'm not expecting him to be 100% Justin Steele for most of the year. So I think they have to get another pitcher. Who's the one guy, Kenny? Who's on your the top of your list?
My question. Who's on the top of your to-do list for the next season?
Either trade or free agent for the rotation.
Trade is a different animal because there's different varying degrees of what Are you going after the Gore or the what's the kid's name in Minnesota? I can't remember his name.
Joe Ryan.
Thank you. Alcantara was somebody that we wanted. Did not pitch well. Edwin Carrera pitched better. So out of the two of those, I'd rather have one of those guys. But if we're going to sign somebody, I've mentioned him a couple times now, it's Framber Valdez.
Okay.
Big lefty. Guy's been in the playoffs, been on a good team, knows what it takes to win. Then that's just spending money. And the Cubs should never once again, you should never shy away from spending money because that thing is an ATM machine right behind you, Aldo.
Yep.
And go if we, you're telling me we either give up 2 or 3 really good prospects to maybe get a good deal for a Joe Ryan or a Edwin Cabrera or a Mackenzie Gore, or you just go spend money and you keep those prospects. Go spend the money and keep the prospects.
I know who I want to spend money on.
Oh,
Who's
yeah,
that?
I know it is. Cubs legend. Cubs prospect legend.
Can't see it.
Mustache.
You want Dylan Cease back, so back in Chicago.
Bring him back.
Or you want to?
I do got to ask you guys a question, though. Both you guys, actually, because there's something I'm concerned with, and I know not a lot of people are touching on this, and it should be a concern. The Cubs have completely babied Cade Horton throughout his entire professional career. Like, babied him more than any player I've seen in recent memory, and maybe in my entire lifetime. I've never seen a pitcher that was given that much restriction throughout his entire process from draft day all the way through to now. And they babied him, and he still couldn't stay healthy and finish the season and be there when the Cubs needed him the most. Is that a concern for you guys that someone that's been given basically the egg crate treatment still couldn't keep his body? I mean, it's not him and not his fault, but his body still couldn't. I don't know. Are we concerned that Horton is just not someone to be counted on as an ace? Because an ace is there every day. He's a 30 start guy. 30. Is Cade Horton? Can Cade Horton be an ace, or can he just be a really lights out dude that maybe gets you 20 starts a season because he can't handle the workload? I guess, or I don't know. I'm kind of.
It was like the Sammy Sosa fucking sneeze. He fucking coughed and he had a fractured rib. If it was an arm or like a shoulder stuff, and it's like second year in a row, like Cade Horton, why is your arm falling apart? I'd be concerned. I'd be like, yes, like can this guy make it 180 innings a year? But it was like a rib thing. Ben Brown had that freak neck thing last summer.
Right.
So you're saying just give him
full year? Like, I don't know.
Next year, just give him more Benadryl?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cough took him out. I mean, it was insane.
No coughs.
I'm with Aldo too there. I mean, you have to look at the kid that and so there's a couple different things in play here. One, I think they baby him way too much as a whole, right? If you're gonna tear it up, you're gonna tear it up, right? And the amount of stress it goes on an elbow, on a shoulder, throwing that hard for that many innings, it's going to happen. Look at Verlander. We could name 5 or 6 guys that have had it and come back and been great, right? And so I think they need to push them a little more. Go to 6 innings the next 2 weeks. Go to 7 innings the next 2 weeks, right? And if it's going to happen, I don't want it to happen. But if you get it out of the way early, once again, I don't want Cade Horton to tear his elbow up. But if you go have Tommy John, there's so much more medicine out there, so much more surgery that people have a higher success rate of coming back than they ever have, right? Yep. And so, baby him a little bit, but grow him too, develop him, continually ramp it up, right? Cade was pitching 5 innings every outing. I'm like, leave him in there for a 6th. And I mean, he's at 55 pitches, right? 53
yeah, they were yanking him at like 50, 60 pitches. And it's like, maybe you're right. Stretch him out. Maybe it's the fact, perhaps the concern is the reverse. Perhaps the babying is what leads him to be more tender and not able to handle this, because your body is going to do what your body does as it adjusts over time. And if over time you're not given the opportunity to stretch things out, you're never going to be able to stretch things out. And then when you do finally get to that point where they ask you to stretch it out, your body's like, bro, you've got me into this habit now. I'm not able to do this. It's like Jordan Wicks. Jordan Wicks can't throw more than 4 innings in an outing, basically.
I just doesn't think the reins are going to be off next year, though.
I hope so.
The body can adjust, right? As long as you do the right preparation, the right workouts, all those different types of things. I mean, the kid pitched at OU, was fantastic, and he went through the minors pretty darn fast, right? That's a huge adjustment from a college season, which he played 3 years at OU, which is 65 games a year. I think they play somewhere in there, in that ballpark, to go into what we talked about before, 162, right? Obviously, it's 2.5 times that season. And so you've got to make some sort of adjustment as to what you're doing. And so anyway, I agree with you, Fids, that they baby him too much. And that was my thought of, Let's ramp it up. Let's keep going.
Wasn't he a third baseman in 2022 at Oklahoma?
Yeah, well, I was going to tell you guys. Do you guys remember, or do you guys know the ballpark of how many innings he pitched in college?
Not many.
Wasn't a lot.
He was a player. Didn't he only play I
think he did. I think at one point he was down with an injury. Games? He only pitched 53 innings.
Yeah,
all combined.
Right.
So I think that was part of the baby because they drafted him in 22. He didn't pitch. They should shut him down the rest of the summer. He didn't do his pro debut until 23. I think it started this year in the minor leagues with the Cubs, at least, that they finally started to change the way they were handling the minor league pitchers. Like guys were, because it wasn't even Horton before. It was like other guys. They would only go 5 innings.
Oh, Fids.
Fids, we got echo.
That's a fine.
Party foul. But I think finally this year, in 2025,
fix your shit.
The Cubs finally started letting their minor league pitchers go longer in games. And yeah, I mean, again, Horton had the shoulder last year. He was out from May on. Did they baby him too much? Probably. Like, it was probably overkill when, he was dominating lineups and had like 60 pitches through 5 innings and they took him out. And then, that's what sucks at the end. It's like he got hurt anyway. It's like, oh, well, cool. all that for nothing.
Yes.
That's weird.
No, and it's true though. You keep big echo.
We're putting out a timeout, Kevin.
So it's true though. You can't baby someone too much though. Like, all right, I have a 4-year-old son. I don't think he's gotten in bed the correct way. I've body slammed his ass into bed for every night for over a year and a half because you gotta toughen them up a little bit. You gotta like make sure they can handle stuff. And like same thing with the pitching. If you keep pulling them after 40, 50 pitches, when you do want to expect him to throw 70, 80, 90 pitches and he's just not used to it,
right? It's
just not going to be there. And I mean, I'm definitely in agreement with you guys. Like you got to let the kid play, like injuries are part of the game, but as you can see, you can get hurt while babying a guy. You know what I mean? Like you can't keep the kid in a bubble.
Right. Yep. Totally agree.
No echo, by the way. We're good. No echo.
You're good.
Yeah.
That was weird. It was going through both the Bluetooth and the USB at the same time. That's strange.
So Kenny, before we let you go, what's the biggest thing? I know we already asked you what free agent, but what's the biggest thing you'd like to see the Cubs address this offseason? Pitching, hitting, left-handed pitching, whatever.
It's a combination of a starter and some hammers at the back end of a bullpen.
Oh, I can see that. Definitely the bullpen part for sure.
No,
is there any bullpen guys specifically?
I haven't looked just yet.
That's early. It's very early.
Yeah. So I mean, I mentioned the guys that played well for us. Steel Bar was great, and we know the Keller thing. But those guys are both free agents. Those guys can be brought back. They're not going to break the bank. But go find 2 to 3 more of those guys, and if there is a closer out there, and maybe Palencia is the 8th inning guy. But another thing, like we said, if Casey is the next Kyle Tucker, maybe Daniel Palencia could be the next great closer. Who knows? Yeah. And like if he throws strikes, he's at 100, 101 on the back end of the bullpen, right? And he was much this year. So yeah, I mean it's pitching, and I know that sounds weird because we just covered that the biggest downfall of this team was timely hitting, but you can get somebody like PCA to Matt Shaw to keep up what he was doing, all those different types of things. So 1A and 1B for me is pitching and on the front end and the back end.
Kenny, I'm going to leave you with one name before you go.
Okay.
We always look at like connections, these guys manager here, obviously Craig Counsell with the Brewers.
I like it already. Where are we going?
He struggled this year. Wrong side of 30. He's 31. Can the Cubs fix Devin Williams?
Interesting. Interesting. Well, so and that's a great name. And one thing we have done well is we brought in some guys in the bullpen that we didn't think would be good, and they were. And so I mean, if that's something that our scouts can go, hey, this is what I think was going on, and this is what we think might take to fix him, and it's something he's not going to cost you a ton either, then I think it's worth it. Absolutely.
That is an interesting name, though. Did he do anything with the Yankees? I didn't even
struggle. He lost close.
Very little. Very little.
He can't throw frisbees anymore?
No.
All right. Well, Kenny, we really appreciate your time. Thank you. Sorry it took so long to get to this point, but we appreciate you coming on. We'd love to have you on again, probably right before the season starts when all the moves have been made and we can kind of do a preview show.
No, why don't we do one 1st of December, right when the GM meetings are going?
Right, the GM, we got to get the rumor mill started.
Come on.
All right. Shit. God. All right. And then during our big season preview show, we always like to have a lot of guests on from both sides of town. So we'd love to have you as part of that as well. But Kenny, thank you very much for your time. I know you're traveling for work. Man, I'm friends with you on Facebook. You travel everywhere for work. But appreciate your time today, and we'll definitely have you on sometime again.
Thanks, boys. I had a great time. Y'all take care.
You too.
Nice to meet you, Kenny.
No, Kenny, my pie. Sorry.
All right, so you can laugh now. You can laugh now. Your Milwaukee Brewers beat the Cubs.
No, I'm not laughing. That was
proxy wins are not wins.
I was so ready for the tweets, though. If the Cubs would have won game, I was ready.
I didn't tweet
I'm going to say
anything
now,
like
as
that.
corny as it was going to be, I was going to
I did not tweet any anti-Cub pro-Brewer things.
No.
I was about to tweet out, it's been a tough October for Chicago Padres, Brewers, White Sox.
Chicago Padres, Brewers. Yes. Me and Herb.
And hey, I get it. Like, that's it. Okay, I do want to touch on this. Cubs fans complaining that White Sox fans were rooting against the Cubs. Like, yeah, they're not going to root for the Cubs, guys. Come on. However,
it's so stupid, though.
However, White Sox fans don't get all mad when then Cubs fans start talking shit because you involved yourself in this now. Because you involved yourself in this now, White Sox fans.
More business. Stay out of Cubs business. Isn't that what I was told? Stay out of White Sox business.
The whole I can't believe you're rooting for the Brewers thing.
More like it.
Yeah, dude. Like I didn't like actively root for the Brewers. I actually was rooting for the Cubs for selfish reasons because it's good for the site and good for the show. But it's just like you can't expect. There's a lot of people on both sides of town that hate the other side of town just because it was beaten to their heads their entire lives.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying? And so, if I was of that state of mind where I just hated the Cubs no matter what, which you both know I don't even see him as a rival. We share a mailing address. But why would you expect those people to all of a sudden be like, go Chicago? Like, it's like, right. No, dude.
I've never gotten that. Part two.
Then the other thing
go ahead.
The other thing that drives me crazy is when, like, one of our, like, my guy, Shy Sox Mike, he'll tweet something out about the Cubs. The kid obviously hates the Cubs, whatever. And
day one hater.
But then, like, a Cubs fan will retweet and be like, you can't stop talking about us. And then a Cubs fan will tweet something about the Sox, and somebody will retweet that and be like, we live rent-free in your head. Like, just stop doing that shit. The bit's old. It's over, dude.
Rent-free.
You guys remember, when I came on this show, the first podcast episode I ever came on this show, I was throwing White Sox dart after dart after dart after dart, just like them. And as time grew, and as I grew to appreciate, obviously, my White Sox fan friends, it changed. I don't care. I'm happy that the White Sox win because I'm happy my friends are happy. Like, that's where I go.
The biggest thing for me is I like Twitter beefs, Twitter back and forth, like when done right. Like NBA Twitter has fantastic back and forth. Mm-hmm. NBA Twitter is fucking hilarious because they'll bring in like memes and like pictures and like all this crazy shit. The White Sox Cubs fan back and forth on Twitter is so unbelievably played out, so unbelievably unoriginal, so unbelievably just boring.
Stale.
Honestly, you know what? No, but to me though, like, because again, Every fan base does. Like New York fans, Mets and Yankees, they go fucking crazy at each other. And like, fine, maybe it's not to that extent with Cubs and White Sox, but like when it starts, we don't have to get like so indignant and be like, "Oh, how dare you!" Like, yes, like you're talking shit. That's what sports fandom is a part of. Like, yes, Cubs fans, White Sox fans are gonna talk shit. White Sox fans, when you start talking shit about the Cubs, they're gonna start talking shit back. It's just like yes, that's gonna happen. Brewers fans.
I was just saying,
Brewers fans, hey, I know you haven't won a playoff series in 7 years, and you beat the Cubs. Congrats, you earned it. And guess what? When you lose and when you get fucking demolished, you're gonna get shit talked by the Cubs. Like that's just how it goes.
Absolutely.
Like yes, rent free. No, like that's just sports fans. Like it's just talking shit about your rival.
That's literally fandom.
You got swept. That's what happened.
Dude, you didn't get swept, but can we talk about this for a second? Because I wanted to talk, and then we'll talk about where I disappeared to. But Shohei Ohtani's Game 4 performance.
Greatest game of all time.
Greatest baseball game of all time, and also greatest individual playoff performance. I know I saw some people say Jordan putting up 63 in the Garden, some triple doubles that happened in the NBA Finals and stuff. But to pitch 6 innings, strike out 10 guys.
There's no comparison.
And hit 3 home runs all over 450 feet. Like they weren't wall scrapers. The only wall they scraped was the back wall leaving the stadium.
There's no comparison. And like even saying this, and like I remember when it was happening. I missed his second one, and then when I saw that he hit like the third, I thought it was his second. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh wait, no, he's 3 for 3, 3 home runs. I'm like, what? I still don't think we appreciate it enough, or like just know the magnitude of it.
How did you feel, Aldo, when Kerry Wood hit a ball out on the Waveland Avenue in Game 7 of the NLCS? That was already incredible. Now, 2 more of those, and 6 smoke rings and 10 Ks, 2 hits. Jeez.
Absolute bombs. Shut down a lineup of the team that had the best regular season record in baseball, who also have the amazing Andrew Vaughn in their lineup. And just shut that down. With 10 strike, it's just
10 strike. Like he was dominating.
I don't think people like realize the magnitude of what that was. And cards on the table. It took me like a day or two for it to really sink in and be like
that's shit, like that would be like what, like Tom Brady AFC Championship
playing defense.
No, it'd be like 25 for 30, 4 touchdowns, 350 yards. Oh, and he had 2 pick sixes as a cornerback. Like exactly. What?
Maybe Hunter will do that one day. Who knows?
Yeah, it's one of the most. It's just it's incredible when you think about it. And again, the fact that all 3 home runs were over 450 feet.
Pissed off.
Long conversation I had Saturday night with a couple baseball guys, real good baseball guys. Chad Hermanson, one of them, former Cub, Chad Hermanson, former Pirate, Chad Hermanson too. But was the idea that Shohei doing this, I hope, but we were all in agreement. We hope this normalizes the idea of not specializing as a pitcher only for a lot of these athletes. The Cubs have a Nazir Mule guy who can maybe do it too.
He already changed. He's already full-time pitcher.
I know they're moving him over, but this is the problem. Like nobody has the guts enough to do, and this is why we hope maybe this normalizes like these guys that maybe do the offensive stuff to go. I know that was like some had a hog.
Take away though.
I live in a Millhouse dad's apartment now, so I'm right on a busy street. So,
but it normalizes it. Like normalize going out there and going. Brooks Kieschnick did it in the '90s. You guys remember Brooks Kieschnick?
Vaguely.
Guy from University of Texas. He was a DH and a absolute lights out closer for University of Texas in the College World Series. Dude hit bombs. He played for I think the Cubs drafted him actually. But he that kind of stuff, like it seems so rare, but it shouldn't be rare. I'll tell you, I've seen a lot of great pitchers that just hang up the batting gloves because it's just too hard to deal with because there's a lot of extra that goes into this. You're literally training yourself on two different completely jobs. So you literally are 2 major league players. Right. So you're doing everything and then everything on both sides.
Way now with analytics and hyper focus on certain things, like that's what you're saying, right, Fids? Like they hyper focus, like, oh, you're going to be a pitcher now. Let's not worry about hitting whatsoever.
Guys at the high school level are specializing at this point. They're like, oh, I'm only going to be a pitcher, coach.
Right.
dude, you're a good hitter.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's a
Speaking
lot
of-
more
and I
when
know-
you get a guy that says, you know, you're a great center fielder, but he doesn't want to pitch and you got a cannon. But it's
Right.
worse when you got a guy that can actually hit and just doesn't want to do it. And
But like think
could
like
be good.
90s and like early 2000s, right? It was like Mike Hampton was like the hitting pitcher, right?
mhm,
Yeah.
he was great.
But like as a pitcher, he was like he had a couple good years like Atlanta. But like he wasn't doing
He wasn't
that.
striking out 10 in 6 innings.
No,
It's like,
In the-
but like,
in the
and like
championship
that's why
series.
it's like you know we can say like yes, do some guys maybe have the ability to do both? Like maybe, like, I'll give you that.
Mhm.
Like I think guys are way more athletic now than they were. You know that just happens with evolution. You get better. But like this is still like who's touching? No one's doing this. Who's touching
This
Otani?
is
no.
this
He's
is
insane. He's a fucking superhero. He's
No, I
Superman.
know.
I hate to say it.
Where he comes from, they
cherry on top
normalized it.
here.
It was very normalized where he came from too. That's not as shocking overseas that a guy will do something like that. And if we, as an American baseball, again, I'm telling you right now, college coaches, high school coaches, they're the ones also discouraging these guys at a younger age from doing it. And that's the problem too. Is the hope is that it normalizes these guys at least giving it a shot. I could tell you know we love Chasen Shreve, right? Friend of the show.
Mhm.
You know, come on. If Chasen Shreve wasn't a pitcher as a Major League Baseball player, I'm telling you with 100% certainty, he would have gone at least AA, maybe AAA as a center fielder. He has one of the most beautiful swings I've ever seen. His high school career, his senior year,
Did you say he was a better hitter than Chris Bryant?
yeah, he was our number one. He was our best hitter when he was a senior. KB was our
Whoa!
KB hit fifth. So, here we go.
Gentlemen, how we doing?
Are you driving or are you in an Uber?
No, I'm in the passenger seat. I got a driver
All right.
with me.
With
Say
you.
hi to
Well, I'm
Clark.
glad they're with you. Ooh,
Hi.
it's a lady.
Oh,
Mitch is like, I'm getting off the call now.
Mitch is like, she can't hear me.
you know, he's pushed out the door.
No, we were just talking about Otani, what he did in Game 4, and my biggest thing is the cherry on top of all of this is that it was an elimination game in a championship
Yeah.
series.
What mattered?
The funny thing is, too, he was getting so much shit leading up to that. They're like, oh, he's having
Yeah.
a bad postseason. And yeah, right there, all worth it.
Yeah, and
I feel like
But-
they've made their money back on that investment already. It might have
Well,
been
they
Fitz that
already
tweeted
did.
it out.
They
But I was
did.
thinking the same thing. Yeah, it was.
They did.
they did.
Okay.
There's an article that came out. They made the $700 million back through merchandising, TV deals, all the stuff in Japan, all that stuff. Like they made it all back already.
And the city of Los Angeles saw a massive uptick in tourists from Japanese tourists as well, which brought more money to the LA economy in general, not even the Dodgers. Like it was a community help too. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's nuts. Like they said that the Dodger Stadium obviously is catering to the Japanese fans. There's food there that they're like serving that obviously there's way more Japanese influence on the food they're serving. But around the ballpark, the tourism and just LA in general, I think they said they saw like it was like a 90% uptick in Japanese tourism in the city of LA, which already had incredible tourism from Japanese and
Right.
more Eastern countries, and it's incredible. And that's why you do it. That's why you pay these guys $700 million and take 3 years of incredible baseball, and don't worry about the back end of these contracts because they're going to make it. They're going to make that money back. It's fine.
Before
All
we
right, well-
continue, by the way, that is a dope sweatshirt. Where do I get me one of the Miller High Life Racing shirt? That's
What?
fire.
Walmart, bitch.
You don't want one of these.
Whoa.
You don't want one of these.
If it's
Well, yeah,
right.
I already got one of those fits.
I got that tattooed on me somewhere. I won't tell you where. All right, let's just get. Ooh, I
Hopefully
didn't
it's a
realize
lower-
how sparkly Josh Naylor's shoes were.
Lower back, maybe. I hope.
Let's
Future
just
White
knock.
Sox, Josh.
Let's just knock this out. All right, so I was gone for a long time. Yes, I was gone for a long time. First and foremost, thank you to Mitch for continuing doing the daytime version of the show. It meant a lot to see it keep going. So I really appreciate that, bud. You tried. You're doing great, man. I watch them every week.
Hey, I
I work from
appreciate it.
home. I watch them. I don't comment or anything. I feel weird commenting on people's shit now. Like I commented on the Sports Bums Bears stream, but that's just because I was drunk. But all I'm gonna say, because I don't really want to get into like too specifics and all that stuff, because a lot of stuff is actually like hyper personal. But mental health is a very real thing. keep yours in check. Keep yours do what you got to do to keep yours good. Have good people around you that you can talk to, and always know that there is someone you could talk to. There isn't a finalized solution that you should take that hurts a lot of people. Just get help if you need it. There's no, like, you don't have to be Johnny Tough Nuts and think you could do it all on your own, because I was. And I thought I could do it all on my own for a long time, and it caused me to do some things that I can never take back. And it took me a long time. I was legit nervous to do tonight, because it's just everything's different in my world right now. It's weird. Things are good finally. Things are on the upswing, but I appreciate Aldo, Fids. You guys kept checking in with me and then, there was a lot of people out there that are listening to this or will listen to this that did check in. I really appreciate that. I mean, I don't really know how to explain it without getting too into the woods. So we'll just say that, just if you need help, go get it. Because unfortunately, if you keep trying to fight it yourself, it's eventually going to get to a point where you don't even recognize the person you're looking at in the mirror. And it gets really ugly, man. Thank you, Ian. And when we had Kenny on earlier, I saw all the love in the comment section and all that stuff. And I really appreciate that. It's been nice. And then the only other thing I want to address is somebody made a burner account on Twitter just to reply to me everything I say that says you gave up on the team. One, I love you. And two, that was the last thing I did. I watched every game still, every pitch. I still watch baseball like I do now. Just I needed to get away from the Twitter universe for a while because, spoiler alert, there's some fucked up shit on there. So I tried to stay away, deleted the account. Some dude made one with my name, which was also
weird,
kind of really weird. So
weird. You're right to say you're a weirur that probably jerks off in their own feces if you're the one that
you're a form of flattery, though.
That's
I guess. But the only thing I didn't like is when he first did it, he came out of the gates like saying some pretty gnarly things to people I consider friends. So like, I didn't really like that, and I was about to like come back, and then I was like, eh. And then life got in the way, and then there's all this shit going on now. So I decided to make it. I went to a Sox game, one of the Cubs Sox games, actually. And I made my way to the 108. Saw the good guys there. It was nothing but everybody embracing me, shaking my hand, doing all that stuff. And it made me feel good, man. It made me feel like, like I said, like the prodigal son coming home. And after that day, I was like, all right, I'm going to create another Twitter account. But I'm going to keep it real small. I'm going to keep it tight. I didn't follow the 27 porn stars or, anything like that this time. So I just follow MSS, and he just lets me know what's going on. But, it's been good. And while I've been gone too, I want everyone to know that watches the show. I've watched all the 108s. I've watched all the bum stuff. I still think it's extremely important that in this community we support each other and, watch each other and tell each other when you suck and when you think something's good. And there's a bunch of times where I message Beefloaf and I'd be like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Where I've been like, yo, that was really cool. Like, I missed that. It sucks that I couldn't go to their bobblehead night. I was down in Florida for work. But just to see that, and I know Aldo and Fids and, well, shit, Mitch, you've been around long enough now too, where did you ever think the day would come that one of the professional teams in Chicago would give a podcast a bobblehead and like a special ceremonial night?
Amazing.
Like, they went from no access at all to anything to we're giving you a fucking bobblehead in a ceremony. Like, I thought that was the coolest thing that has happened in the world of White Sox podcasting, maybe ever.
I give the White Sox a lot of credit, not only just for that. They had a full day where they had a lot of these guys on there, which I thought was awesome. They gave access to a lot of these. So
I thought it was phenomenal.
It's the same organization that locked me and Alexis outside of the ballpark when we tried to go for the second game of the doubleheader because they closed the box office after. We couldn't even sneak in. I've snuck into a Raiders game and I couldn't get into the White Sox ballpark in Game 2 of a doubleheader in the middle of the summer. In a rain.
To my Sox summer, Kevin. Come on.
Yeah.
I know. Someone pulled some
But
shit. You guys get the fuck out of here. No.
You talk about pioneering and like clearing the way for other people and younger people and all this stuff that want to get into this and do this stuff. And like, they think, we've said it a million times, it's not just turn on a mic and go. And I mean, the 108 guys are a prime example of that. The work they put into their craft, the time, the dedication they put into it, they deserved every second of it. And I thought it was one of the coolest fucking things I've ever seen. And the fact that they got it before Barstool, even better.
And I think sometimes we focus too much on the drunk part of the uncles, but the fact that these guys support so many different podcasts and so many different fans in so many different ways, that's the uncle part of the drunk uncles. And there's something special about people that look and help and go out and do that what's the word? I want to say paternal, because but it is a little bit paternal. They give so much support to so many people that the drunk part is fun, the drunk uncles, but the uncle part is there. There's a lot of heart and soul and love and pride from them in their White Sox community too. And that's the thing.
I'll just leave it as, if it was going to happen to anybody, I'm glad it happened to them. Yeah. And then I've seen the Chicago sports bums, in my opinion, have made this massive leap.
TMZ guys.
TMZ, but like, no, just with their coverage and their hosting events, of course, Beef.
You can send the check, Beef.
Yeah, Venmo, dude.
No, it's down today.
Yeah,
but like
Amazon again.
The bums, like, I actually called Baloney tonight to tell him, like, yo, sorry, we're going at 8:00 against you guys. It just kind of all worked out that way. And he's like, dude, stop it. He's like, I'm just glad you guys are back doing it. But they're not just so much baseball. They do the Bears and they got the whole beer stick and the Blackhawks, but like them hosting events at Ramova or whatever the fuck. And like,
they throw like the best tailgates in the city.
Yeah, they throw the best tailgates in the city and all the different whiskey brands and tequila brands. They got the tequila bums now and like all that stuff. And it's really, really cool for me to watch these guys, not just the bums and 108, just all these guys that you watch shows and you're like, all right, well, these are good guys. I hope they make it. And they are. And it's like, yo, this is really dope. And I just want to make sure everybody knows, even though in my absence and all that was going on in my life, I still definitely made time to watch. I didn't like contribute anything because, like I said, I felt weird commenting on things, but like watch and really appreciate everything that was done. So kudos to everybody for that. That was really good shit. I'm glad I'm here now. I don't think I'd be here now if it wasn't for these three guys on the screen with me. And I also, as I mentioned, I lost a good friend of mine. He very sudden brain aneurysm, probably the biggest White Sox fan I've ever known. And the reason why we started doing the show was to give a voice to guys like that who won't do it himself. But he always trusts me. Every time I saw him, he always had an idea for the show. He always had something he wanted me to talk about. He knew we went on Wednesdays and he would text me, hey, can you talk about this guy or whatever? And like, he never missed an episode, but he never commented or anything like that because that's just not how he was. He wasn't a very social media kind of guy. But I'm going to miss him a lot. And that was one of the other reasons why I wanted to get back on the horse here, because I feel like I owe it to him almost. So that's it. I didn't want to get too in the weeds, but I know people had a lot of questions about it. And if you still got questions and you really are that nosy, go ahead and fucking DM me and we can talk. But it depends on what level of friendship you have with me, how much I'm going to tell you. But yeah, that's about it. Okay, so since we're talking about sad shit, why don't we talk about the White Sox season?
Oh, come on. Better.
No, hey, you know what? And Mitch, I don't know if you'll agree with me on this one, but I'm going to say last year was the hardest watch in the history of my White Sox fandom, because it was a bunch of guys that wanted nothing to do with baseball, going out there and just going through the motions, taking the L and getting off the field. And they were a record-setting worst team ever in baseball. This year, though, you get these kids, they're hungry, they're stringing together some wins, they're actually playing like good baseball, moving runners over, situational hitting, got some big-time pitching out of some of these guys. And for the first time in a long time, it's not just, oh, here comes the prospects, here comes the prospects. It's, no, these guys we just watched do it in the MLB for half a season. And I mean, we could start at the catching position with Kyle Teal, Cuero. I mean, Corey Lee's got to be gone by the end of this year, but it's just it was very weird for me to see, not weird in a bad way, but weird in a good way, to see the White Sox starting a catcher and having a catcher at DH. Like, when have we seen that? Maybe in years, dude. And so I don't know what they're going to do with the situation. I mean, Teal and Cuero probably your catchers going forward. I'm just saying that, I don't want to say 100% so people can't come back to this video in like 3 months and be like, but I don't know, Mitch, what did you think about the catching situation after this year?
I was really, going back to your initial point, first, it was nice seeing guys that looked like they wanted to play baseball. And you can see the vision. Yes. It was like exciting to watch this team because, like, even though they weren't like great per se, you could see the vision, and these guys wanted to be there. A lot of times, like the Almacadas of the world, it almost seemed like they liked what baseball did for them, but they didn't necessarily love baseball. And that was the case. And you look at Teal was the perfect example of that. You see him like running.
I like how you said that, buddy. I like how you said that. That was well put.
But like, yeah, so those two are really exciting.
Now. All right, guys, gotta go. Just nailed it in that one line. Yep.
No, I think I've heard some rumblings that they might try and move one of them to like a different position. I would keep it as it is. I think there's nothing wrong with having two solid catchers, just rotating it at DH. Caro especially, I really like. The back picks was really impressive. I saw he led the MLB with like 5, which is
Absolute
nice.
Cannon.
The pitch framing with him, I think it get a little bit better, but that's going to be a point pretty soon. And that was really my only main concern. If you looked a lot of his like defense. So like that, I'm not too worried about. But both of them, like, very good situational hitters, especially like Caro with runners in scoring position, always seem to rise to the occasion. And Teal's just he's a stud. So I'm very excited for both those guys. I think like those two, Teal, I feel like has like the edge as far as both, but both of them are like viable starting catchers, and it's kind of nice to not have to worry about that because like it's been a position we really haven't had solidified for a while now. Like I guess you look at the Yasmani Grandal, but he had all the injury issues too, so
he was good for half a season.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the bigger part with Teal is like it's not like we have like good catchers now, right? Kyle Teal's second half numbers were like this guy's like a star hitter in the middle of your lineup. That guy was a monster.
Absolute beast.
Like it wasn't just like good for
second
catchers.
half of the season, I think he was like the best offensive catcher in baseball.
Yeah. Like elite stuff. It's like how exciting.
Absolute beast. I think if they do give someone a new position, I feel like Teal could go to first base. I wouldn't be happy about it because I don't really want to fuck with what's working. But like you said, Cuero's cannon, I couldn't justify not having that behind the plate anymore. Like it used to be a joke. Like fucking Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s fat ass would like walk to second base. And you just steal on the White Sox. You know what I mean? It was just like if a walk was a double against the White Sox. You know what I mean? It was a joke, especially with Grandal back there. His old arthritic ass, which I have it so I can make the jokes. He wasn't throwing anybody out anytime soon, and it was absolutely brutal. Mitch, give me your biggest. Who was your favorite player on this year's team?
I'm gonna go. Ooh, that's tough. I'm going Mike Vassell. My favorite.
Really?
Vassell is. I loved like they put him in any different position, and he would come out there like I loved his energy. Like the one game that came to mind, where Bradley legend Mike Talkman hit the walk off. It was like this. It was like 11 inning game or something.
Oh my God!
He came in there in like multiple situations in extra innings, so they had like runner on second, and he weaseled his way out of it, and he's like fired. So I really liked Vassell. I thought he was a gamer. You could put him in any situation. and he always rose to the challenge. So that was one of my favorites to watch. Chase Mydroth I loved a lot too. I thought he kind of tailed off once he switched off the Kendrick Lamar walk-off song. I think that kind of affected the hitting a little bit, but I like the way he played the game too. I think there's some room for improvement there. But Mike Vass would be my answer.
So breaking moves. George Springer just hit a 3-run home run. Toronto's up 4-3 in the bottom of the 7th, 1 out.
Jeez, what a series!
Zoe, shake your head.
Oh, I will in a minute.
I think this is the best series, the best actual like entertaining series of the entire postseason.
I'm going chalk on my answer. And there's a big reason why I'm going to say Colson Montgomery. The reason why I'm saying Colson Montgomery is because
it hurts me. Because it hurts me. Is that why you're saying it?
No, that's not why. Okay. It's because for years and years and years and years, it's always been, here come these prospects. Here comes these prospects. Here comes these prospects. And then they get up here and they don't do shit. And then Colson Montgomery was struggling in the minors. Like he wasn't even playing well in the minors. And I think the Sox finally were just like, all right, we just got to get this kid up and give him a shot. I think he was bored too, Fitz. I think he was just bored as fuck.
Like that smart kid.
Mitch, who's the guy who's like fixing all the White Sox hitters?
Ryan Fuller.
Give that guy all the money.
All the money.
Colson Montgomery still sucked in April, and then he went to Arizona for like 2 weeks.
Yep. And he
came all of a sudden he had.
That's how bad he was.
To Zoe's point too, like you're almost conditioned to think like these guys are gonna. Like I remember when they called him up, and I'll be honest, it was a terrible take. But I was like, why are they calling him up? He is not. He doesn't look ready. And because you're so used to all these other guys that have flopped. So that was the most pleasant surprise of the season. Not only that, like he was a power hitter, which like his power, he hit homers in the minors, but not to the level we saw. And to do it consistently throughout that whole second half. That was really nice. And
he just had the complete opposite top prospect trajectory.
Right.
Had all the hype, lost all the hype. White Sox fans forgot about him after spring.
They quit on him.
They're like, this guy.
No, you didn't forget about him. They quit on him.
Or they quit on him. They're like, this guy's done. Like, I don't want to hear about Colson Montgomery ever again. And he comes up. But he was like, what, top 3 in home runs?
71 games, 21 home runs. Batted 239, 311, 529, and had an OPS of 840 with a 3.3 WAR.
The new Patrick Wisdom
is as much as Dansby Swanson had all season, and Kyle Tucker almost too, basically. But here's the thing:
that puts them second on the White Sox in home runs. By the way,
it goes to show, by the way, how important coaching really can be in development of a player. Though you get a person that actually knows what they're doing. You know, look at Andrew Vaughn. Andrew Vaughn did not get what he was supposed to get with the Chicago White Sox organization. Some of it was necessity. Some of it was COVID. Some of it was, the window, whatever you want to call it. And he didn't get a chance to develop, and he wasn't developed. He goes over to another franchise, and somebody gets their hands on him for just a couple weeks and flips the mindset completely. And with Colson Montgomery, whatever was going on with him, I don't think had anything to do with physical issues. It was all mental. It was all that muscle between the ears that was keeping him back. And all of a sudden you see this guy show up, and I joke about it, but he's like that kid. He felt like that kid that's like just genius level. He gets C's in high school, but only because his teacher hands out worksheets every freaking day. Like he's a guy that needs to give him the quadratic equation, give him the Goodwill Hunting equation on the board behind him, and let the dude roll. And that's what happened. You threw out you threw him at MIT, which is the major leagues, and the dude all of a sudden was thriving because he was just engaged. And
yes,
maybe it was just maybe minor league pitching was so shitty to him that when you get a guy that can actually hit their spots at an elite level, it plays to his elite abilities as well. And I don't know. It felt like he was bored. And I love to see the fact that he was coached well. And that's huge. Fuller did a fantastic job.
To me, the wildest thing, though, looking back at this season is who led the team in batting average? Sosa, 264. Home runs, Sosa, 22. RBIs, Sosa, 75. Hits, Sosa, 137.
Vindicated. I've been saying for years.
The end of last year, the last month of the season, last year, Sosa was kind of starting to figure it out. And it was like one of those, okay, it's like late in the year. Let's see if, keep keeping up. But the problem with him is there's just nowhere to play him on defense. Because I don't know what you do with him moving forward, because he looks like a valuable bat in that lineup. It's just I don't know where you play him. I don't think he's that great of he's not a first baseman.
No.
Second base
Yeah,
was
he
like
looked
a
rough.
lot to be desired. So that's the thing. It's like I don't know where.
Well,
Can
then
he hit? Do you trust him hitting enough to like he's starting 90 games as your DH?
no, I don't. And then the other thing is the curious case of Miguel Vargas, who, as Beef pointed out in the comments, did score 80 runs this year. Lewin got to bulk up and become Nelson Cruz. I'm in for that. Let's just throw them horse roids right in that boy. But then you got Miguel Vargas because there's no room on the left side of the infield. That's taken. That's Colson and Chase. That's your left side of your infield. So is Vargas your first baseman going forward, or
He was that great defensively at first base
No.
either, though.
either do I?
I think that's the one. Like, if you're gonna address a position, that would probably be the first one I would address. I almost think you could bring back because right field's still a hole too, but you got Montgomery coming up through the minors still. Like, there's some guys
Yes.
coming up that I think are a year away where I would just bring Talkman back as a placeholder, and then maybe some other platoon veteran, kind of like what they did last year. But first base would be the big one I would address if they're going to.
Which is wild because as Sox fans, we have been absolutely spoiled at first base almost my entire life. But yeah, need a third baseman badly. I wouldn't mind seeing Colson. Colson's not a third baseman.
No,
He's
a
not.
shortstop. He's a shortstop.
And I think you can move Chase to second base.
Yeah.
So it's basically the corners that you're looking for. Which, though, I mean,
Andrew Vaughn.
he was supposed to carry that torch, and then I don't know. He went to cheese curds or some shit. Fucking got in that dude's system, and all of a sudden he can hit the ball. That was just weird to me.
It was devil magic. It was
I'm just
Welcome
throwing
to
it out
Milwaukee
there.
Brewers devil magic. It's
the
real.
whole thing with Andrew Vaughn was just weird to me. Dude was getting sent down to like Arizona fall ball because he couldn't. He was hitting like 182.
Didn't he get the right Fuller treatment?
He quit on the White Sox too. Like that.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Quit on the White Sox. That was so disappointing to me. That's why I was like, when he went to Milwaukee, it was like he got like a shot in the arm. He got a Pat Murphy. Pat Murphy probably told him don't be a little bitch, and he was held accountable. And he just came out the fresh. He was always a good ball player. He unfortunately the dude had to like get pushed. He was way too soon. He was a necessity call up when the White Sox were in that window, and unfortunately the window was the damage that was done, and it was under all the chaos of the Tony La Russa stuff, and it was just bad fit.
It was terrible.
As a Cub fan, it's a fucking annoying that the White Sox gave him up to the Brewers. For basically like a bag of sunflower seeds.
You mean Cubs legend Aaron Savali?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, guy that ended up.
He was batting.
He was the best pitcher in that series.
I know. That's the hardest part. That's like, because they got him for nothing, and then good job on the Brewers for reading out someone that they saw what they could maybe fix, or they just assumed that an escape from the toxicity of what had happened in the South Side, not the current South Side. Current South Side is. I think there's no toxicity there. I think they're.
I think it's a fun group of kids trying to actually play some ball and win.
Yep. And so he just. It was for him. It was just a restart, and he needed it, and it was just bad timing for him. Unfortunately, probably Beef Loaf's fault for hating on him so much. Just kidding, Beef. You only hated on him a little bit.
No, he cried. He's gonna cry in the car.
What are you guys' expectations for the offseason for the Sox?
Yeah.
It's a weird. Well, as we mentioned, corner infield is going to be something to watch. I mean, they had some pretty decent pitching with Shane Smith. Davis Martin was all right.
No, the starting rotation, honestly, I thought it was pretty good. And you still got some guys that are hurt that are coming up too. Maybe a couple bullpen pieces.
And then you look at the prospects too, and like you mentioned, Braden Montgomery. He's a year away. He's a double. But then Noah Schultz, Hagen Smith, these are guys that are coming. And I mean, I don't want them to do the old. Our best trade is calling him up from the minor leagues. Don't do that. Do not do that.
I still do think the team is probably a year away. I think next year is like a 75 to 80 win season. If everything, assuming they don't make any major splash, which I don't think they necessarily will. But I think 75 to 80 wins would be reasonable. And then after that it's go time.
Just in
I
time,
hope-
just in time for Rookie of the Year, Tanner McDougal.
I was just
Right.
gonna say
They gotta
Fitz
get him
is
on the
really-
40 man. I wrote about that.
Oh yeah, don't lose him in that Rule 5 because
No,
And-
Tanner balled out, especially in the playoff line and all that shit.
gamer
So,
tripod.
the
And
other
he cut down on the walks a lot too, which was like nice to see. Like that curveball man looked good. It looked
I know he's only an A+, but I want Caleb Bonemer to come up so bad
I want to hear that.
because
That's a
I just want
broadcast.
like the nicknames alone and like the Boner. Yeah, he's actually the White Sox 4th rated prospect right now, but
Not as bad as
he's
that
so
tight end that
good.
plays for the what is that? Never mind.
Butts.
Jake
No, there's another guy that has a no. You don't want that name on. Never mind.
But-
Are
There's
the
a-
White Sox? What are they? Luis Robert Jr.
they're the
I thought it
gorillas,
was, like,
whatever
gonna be traded.
college that is.
back in July wasn't. He finished off the season. Pretty good, I think.
Bonemer. No, it's Bonemer, dude.
Pittsburgh
Oh.
State, maybe.
Ian, it's Boner. It's gonna be Boner pretty soon, so just go with it.
Does Luis Robert Jr. make it to opening day on the Sox?
So
They're
that's
picking that option up.
that's
And
one
that's
of the
why I don't
funny-
think they're going to do a lot this offseason because I think a big chunk of what they have to spend is going to be picking that option up.
one of the
Otherwise, I
funniest
think
things-
they would trade him at the deadline. Like I think
One of
they
the-
run
that
it
was-
back one more time, and it's like let's see if we can boost that
Number.
value one last time. But I think they bring it back.
one of the funniest interviews I've seen in a long time was when someone asked Luis Robert after done like, "You surprised to be here?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah, I actually am. I'm pretty surprised I'm still here." And it was like,
Like, what's his name in Florida that said he had his bags packed? Remember? Hey, Hector, remember that? He had his bags.
Oh yeah. But I don't know. They'll pick it up because they're cheap. And I mean, for what it's worth, you kind of mentioned it earlier, like how it got pretty toxic in that dugout, and guys just didn't care. And like this little youth movement could be really good for La Pantera.
Even
It's
Andrew
young.
Benintendi
It's amazing
said,
it's amazing what happens when you get guys that are too stupid to realize. And I don't mean that in a negative way. They're so young, they're too stupid to realize the importance of some of these other things. So they gloss right over the things that maybe a veteran might in the clubhouse because they're out there they're just young ball players playing. And so that kind of stuff does actually spill over. You know, that's why they always say have a good combo. But you got to have a bad veteran and some great, young prospects that come up. Those guys are having fun. Those guys don't know what losing is like yet. They
Mike
haven't-
Talkman.
Yeah.
well, yeah, even Andrew Benintendi was saying in an interview, he was like, last year people got to the ballpark and could not wait to go home. Like it was
Loser
like,
mindset,
clock
yeah.
and get it over with. Where he's like, to now it's like it's fun hanging around these guys, and it showed a lot on the field. Like if you got
No,
guys you
so-
want to play hard for, like you're gonna bust your ass down the line that much more in August
There's a-
than the dog did.
There's such a thing as a loser mindset. And when it sets in, no matter who you are, whatever franchise you're with, whatever that group that happens to be the collective that's together at that moment, you can't flush it out. Like it's just there. And that's why when you get an influx of young, dumb, I'm using dumb like in the term of like they're unaware, not dumb
Right.
like they're stupid, but like they're unaware. They don't feel that stuff. They don't
Stupid.
care. So those guys come up and they're just, let's fucking play some ball. And that for guys like Luis Robert, the joy of the game comes back, and all of a sudden,
That's
All we
exactly
needed
what
was
I'm
to
talking
see
about.
Kyle Teal taking a couple naked dry swings in the locker room. The love of baseball came right back.
you're playing ping pong.
Wait, with his bat or with his?
No, did you hear? He was on before the season started. He was on the AJ Brzezinski podcast, and AJ was like, yeah, like some of my teammates told you, like stand in the club. It's like the old Carlos Quinton commercial. He would just stand in the middle of the locker room naked and like take big baseball swing.
No, I'm
I
saying,
don't
did he have
use
a bat or was he
Yeah,
using his
well, hold
dong?
on.
I have no idea.
Are we talking
I would hope
Margarita?
Tung, tung,
Or
tung, 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 tung.
Are we
Sorry.
talking 4th-ranked White Sox prospect Boner?
Are you guys,
Boner?
you guys are familiar with that Italian brain rot crap?
Don't get me started, dude. My
There's
kid
Tung
watches
Tung Tung,
that
who's literally a piece of wood who swings a bat. That's all I'm thinking of right now is Luis Robert in the middle of the clubhouse going tung, 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 tung.
shit.
And it's not a bat. He's swinging.
Yeah.
He's just doing the helicopter.
What would
Sorry.
be if the White Sox called you up, Mitch, and said you can go out and get anybody you want, and you can't say like Ohtani. He has to be like a legit like free agent, whatever.
Like
Yeah,
something
right.
realistic.
A guy
or
that's
like-
tradable like Mike Trout.
Like who would you go out and get?
I think a good fit, and I think Naylor would be a really good fit. At first base.
Josh Nelson was saying he had some about that too.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. I think he would mesh very well with that clubhouse personality, and I think that's.
So he'd be the new agent.
Mitch, who
Oh
is
yes,
your
100% yes, 1,000,000% yes.
Mitch? What does your driver think? Who would be that?
Who do you think the White Sox to sign this offseason? No comment.
That's better than Carey. That's better than
Plain
Carey.
and safe, smart.
Remember
At
when
least you
Carey
didn't say
dropped
the Bears.
Yeah. When Carey dropped the Bears. That was dang it. I was hoping to get some.
So wait, but do you guys do you think they make one big splash, or do you think they hold it off until like we need one more year here?
I would like them to make a big splash, but I think they're going to wait a year. I really do.
This long enough where I know they're not going to. They're not going to.
Are you guys happy with the new guy kind of creeping in, getting a little bit more into the ownership?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I know people that know him. And and
know people.
He wants to put the White Sox on the map again. Like he wants people to be like,
need it.
Like, I mean, I don't think he's going to start putting together Dodgers type teams, but like at least competitive teams. Like you look at a guy like Bregman.
Yep.
Fits your third baseman situation perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. Sox aren't going to spend for that. They're not going to throw out the money for that. But maybe when Homeboy takes over, that's the type of guy he goes and gets.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's got to give you a lot of like room for optimism too. Like it's coming, it's there, it's close.
I just hate that it's so many people wishing death upon this old man.
That's where I don't
so
like.
Weird to me.
So
it was so like Sox Fest this year was wild. When he was out on the balcony there, like that panel got unraveled. I thought a riot was about to break out. And poor Shrippen's up there trying to corral the crowd.
It was like Fourth Theater again.
He earned that. Don't get me wrong, but like it's just
lots of moves. But jeez, like it's
so wait,
baseball, guys.
Refresh me, guys. What are the details on that? It's how many more years until the other guy takes control? Is it years or until Jerry's gone?
No, it's years. But if Jerry,
it's like part of a deal where he has to give him full ownership by I think 2040. Or until Jerry gives it to him. There's like a timeline where he has to transfer ownership, or until Jerry decides he's done. So I think 2040 was the.
Jerry, but like if Jerry chokes on a chicken bone tomorrow,
right?
Homeboy takes over tomorrow.
God, I don't want to read. I'm not going to go on White Sox Twitter, by the way. God forbid the day that does happen, everyone does face that. We're all going to die one day. I am not going on social media that day. I will not subject. I will lose a lot of faith in a lot of people that.
I mean,
White Sox post they make after that, the comments are going to be brutal.
God,
they're going to turn off the comments.
Right, just that post will be like,
low key, the memes are going to be fucking on fire. the memes are going to be unreal, dude. Like, there's going to be like people doing ding dong, the witch is dead and stuff like yeah.
It's sports too.
I think it starts in 2034. I think Ian's right. It's not for a while, but at least
forced by 24. All right.
But at least
that's probably it.
Maybe need a little help.
Damn, another decade.
Less McRibs, and you will be there in 2040. Let's go. Get there.
To be honest with you,
he's already starting to make quote capital infusions into the team. So
and.
He was paying off for that 108 bobblehead. Jerry wouldn't have paid for that. That was Ishbia money. Like,
that was his money. He was supporting the right people.
No, they told Jerry it cost $1.08, and he said, "Yeah, let's go." In only 15 years, it'll be 110. Jesus Christ! Whatever deal he made,
he'll make it just to piss most of you off. Is what he'll do. He'll do it. He'll be like, I'm gonna be like I don't know, Isaac from.
I'm gonna live forever. Yeah,
I saw someone tweet that he was rooting for the Brewers. It was some reporter tweeted that he was like rooting for the Brewers this postseason or something stupid. They're like, I want to see a small market team win it. It's like, yeah, of course you do. In fact, if that was actually true, I don't know if that was true or not. But if he actually is rooting for a team,
then he's gotta love to see that Toronto or Seattle is going to the fucking
He was rooting for his pudding to come early. Is what he was rooting for.
Yeah,
he's looking for some cream corn. That's what he wants. That's. This point,
spot on, Ian.
There's some days where I'm convinced he's being weekend at Bernie.
It could
Oh,
be.
I was just in the opposite. Honestly, for his age, he's still moving around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you see some people at his age that look like.
All right, boys.
Is this abuse? No.
Going into the top of the ninth, Toronto's up 4-3. Seattle's got 8, 9, and 1 coming up.
Well, I blame you guys. I got super optimistic and happy and joyful. I threw down $100 on the Seattle Seahawks to win by 9.5. Probably should have
Mitch,
done
you
that.
got Blue Jays, Dodgers, or do the Mariners come back?
Dude, the Chicago parlay.
I'll stick with. I had Seattle heading into the series, so I'll stick with that.
The Chicago parlay has now hit
I meant the Seahawks, by the way. I meant the Seahawks, not the
Yeah.
Seattle. I was thinking Seahawks win tonight, but not.
What was the
Chicago Blue Jays. So, dude, Vlad is insane.
Vlad's having the postseason of this is legendary shit.
Yeah,
and he came walking in with the Austin Matthews jersey too. Everyone's like, "Uh-oh."
Oh, I thought they were DOA after that. I'm like, there's no way.
Here's the funny part: the Dodgers have like 4 Vlads.
Yeah,
5.
5 Vlads.
They were counting after the Dodgers win. They were counting like, how many Hall of Famers are on this team? And they're like, they got to like 8.
Jeez.
And they're just like, Jesus Christ.
Just insane. But I will be rooting for either American League team in the World Series. I'm really happy that it wasn't the Brewers that I had to root for. Well, I wasn't rooting for them against the Dodgers either, so I was fine with the Dodgers going to the series. I was just choosing somebody not named LA for the series and not named Milwaukee for the NLCS. But
Mitch, are you disavowing all this salary cap talk from whiny Brewers fans?
yeah, what is that?
what was it?
Brewers fans kept bringing up the payroll for the Dodgers and like can't wait until there's a salary cap.
Oh,
It's
give
like,
me a break!
seriously?
No, see that's stupid. I hate that. I'm glad the Dodgers are doing what they're doing. It makes these other teams want to have to spend more. There should be.
And they made the money back. For God's
Like,
sake,
like-
make the money back.
I think even Pat Murphy was like, I mean, we don't have the same talent as they do. They got the bigger payroll. I'm like, all right, come on, Pat.
I'm ready, Aldo.
Sorry,
Got
that
it?
they got ownership that wants to win.
Here's my
Right.
what I would say. Every time a Brewers fan talks about salary cap, this is the song I hear. Oh, is it not doing it now?
No, I think only you can hear it. Sing it, Kevin.
I can't hear it.
Welcome back, folks. Pinwheel and Zombie Podcast, where only Kevin can hear the inside bits.
Yeah, right. What the hell? I can't hear it.
Jesus, act like we never left.
Well, so by the way, I'm doing this on a laptop because the computer that I've been using was obviously an older computer, and I bought an iMac on Thursday night, but it's not going to be here till Friday, so I'm screwed now. I'm using a
I'm
laptop.
sorry, the duck with the gun will never not be funny to me.
Oh, we got so many. How are our media assets? I haven't even seen this.
They're so old.
They're
all still there.
Are we going to get a NASCAR minute tonight? Like somehow?
Maybe.
Is there a
There
NASCAR
was
minute?
just a Talladega race. I can do a quick NASCAR minute if we
We
want.
got that.
It's been so long since I've come back. This is currently what Beef Loaf looked like.
I'm still a waiter.
You're still waiter, and Baloney still looks like this.
Still a waiter. Yep. Bologna still looks like that. Mitch is still in a car.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're still playing fast. And Missy's still trying to learn how to read.
PTA has a bobblehead though too, or like a most. Oh, who did that one? Oh, Dan Clark
That
Sports.
was Dan Clark. Oh, wait, quick question, guys.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
And
you
Tim Hill is
guys,
still
you guys
handsome.
got rid of
Tim Hill is still handsome.
Yankees legend Tim Hill. You guys finally got rid of Pedro, and now you have for. Oh yeah, that one almost took me out. That's why you got to tune in.
I
to
forgot about that
Pinwheels
one.
and
But
Ooh, whoever did that one was great.
What were your guys' first year impressions of Will Venable?
I feel
I
like
liked Will.
Yeah, I
And
like
you know
Will.
what? Because he wasn't the big it started even like his first press conference, whatever. Because like Griff Foles always seemed like he wanted to have like the big sound bite when the press conference. And he didn't do that. He wasn't out there but like, oh, we're gonna change things. He's like, no, I want accountability, but I can say all I want. At the end of the day, we're gonna have to show you, which I got kind of appreciated. So
I like Will because he didn't use acronyms.
yeah,
And so yeah, that was fucking
God, there's so many in here.
and all
he-
things considered, with like how young that rotation was and the lack of weapons they had in that bullpen, I actually thought he managed the pitching staff pretty well, all things considered, just given the lack of ammunition they had to work with. So there was like some moves like here or there, like But when it's a 60-win team, it's like, I'm not going to be complaining about a lineup on, But I thought, overall, I'd say it was a solid B- effort his first season.
Yeah, I mean, no one's going to be perfect, but I think he stayed quiet and swung a big stick. You know what I mean? Like he handled a group of young guys. He got them excited to play baseball again. He played them the right way. He interchanged things. He didn't tinker too much where it was at the point where you're like, dude, what are you doing? Like, it was more just, okay, like, I get it. And then he would let the hot hand. The only time that it really pissed me off, and this obviously goes back to gambling because it always does. The only time it really pissed me off is when Colson Montgomery hit a home run in like 3 straight games, and then he benched him for 2 straight. I was making money off of Colson Montgomery anytime home run bets.
There's something to be said about a guy that comes in. Look, when you talk about culture change, right? This is actually like a thing. Like I mean, we joke a lot, but someone that comes in and creates a culture change, sometimes less is more. Like sometimes the idea of no drama is the way to pause it for like a whole season of just like play it by the book, do it right, allow these guys to just and then slowly start implementing your, get a little crazier. But the fact that he came in and created what's called, consistency, reliability, like they set a floor. And this is where he did such a fantastic job, is that he created a whole environment where, again, especially towards the end of the season when the White Sox started really playing well, in that, especially that one little like window stretch, and he basically created an opportunity for these guys just to play ball without people completely losing their shit over every single decision, every single mistake, he was, sometimes the guy takes it, wears it, they absorb it. He managed, and I won't say milquetoast because it's not milquetoast because he was getting more out of what he had. He played it straight. And sometimes there's something to go, like there's something to be said about a guy that doesn't hit against a 6 from the dealer at the blackjack table.
Ooh, sorry. Hoffman is fucking dealing 2 strikeouts in a row.
Oh, and I got to know what is this emoji, Ian? That's like a Muppet. What the hell is that? It's like a Muppet. I don't know. It reminds me of those yes, 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 or the boop, 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 whatever those.
Stop with the brain rots, dude.
No, that's Muppets. I'm talking about the Muppet. That was the 70s. That's the Muppets. It's those guys that yes, yep, yes, 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 yes. You know what I'm talking
about? The yippers, the yip,
yippers.
Mitch, I know you did a show on the coaching changes after the season, but Zoe, what do you think? Ethan Katz out of there.
Oh yeah,
Ethan Katz out of there. What was the name? There's a dude in Milwaukee. Beefloaf brought it up a while ago, and then someone reiterated it today, and I really like him, and I can't think of his fucking name. He'd be coming from the Brewers, though.
Okay. That's a good organization. I'm sorry, I hate to say that, but
no, they are.
And the Walker McKibben one seemed like it worked out decent.
It's White Sox fans' second favorite team, so they should be stoked.
Actually, that was the one coach he was able to.
I'll tell you my second favorite team in about 3 pitches.
Oakland Athletics, Vegas Athletics for me. Remember last time we were on here, people were like, "It's not going to happen."
2-1 count to Julio.
I drove by the construction site the other day, and it's going to be fucking glorious. And you all need to come out here for the White Sox 3-game series and the Cubs 3-game series because shit's going to be cool.
Is it a dome?
It's one of those things. So, sort of.
That's not a yes.
Well, no, it's not. It's going to be. It's weird. So,
air conditioning is what I'm doing.
So look at Allegiant Stadium. The roof of Allegiant Stadium has this like fabric or what I don't know what they call it that absorbs light. And that's going to be around. So I don't know if it's considered.
Oh wow! Hoffman just struck him out.
But it's like this light enhancing tarp. That's the only way to do it. And they're going to have a big AC system. Their AC bill is going to be nuts. But it's going to be a cool ballpark. It's going to be. I mean, they're only going to see like 30,000, like we've talked about in here. Always keep a line, and it's going to be fun here. It's going to.
Well, Jays, yeah.
Is it possible that all the United States and Canada, most of the population is going to root for the Blue Jays?
It's possible.
Because like even California, like LA,
You know they're gonna get smoked though, right?
no, they're gonna get killed.
They're about to get just smoked.
That guy on his Vincent Black Shadow agreed.
Yeah,
Outside his
They're
window.
gonna get killed.
that guy. The Blue Jays, like, I'm happy for him. Great. Is Dante Bichette still play, Junior?
Bo Bichette,
Oh,
yeah,
Bo
he
Bichette.
came back this year.
Yeah, he was almost a
Is he-
cup.
Is he on the roster though?
Yeah, he's playing, isn't he? Is he not playing?
I
Anything?
thought he came. I know he was injured, but I thought he came back.
They'll probably have him on the World Series roster, but I don't think he played tonight.
Oh yeah, he may return for the World Series if they make
There
it.
you
Yeah.
go.
Oh, I didn't realize
No.
he was that banged up. I guess.
Yeah, I knew he was hurt, but like,
Oh wait, speaking of free agents, maybe he moves over to third base. Do you guys want Bo Bichette for the South Side?
wait,
Oh,
Bo can play third?
yeah, I can.
I mean, you can move him over. That was the whole conversation. Remember, Kevin?
Yeah, he actually said he was willing to do it. Like I think
He plays third.
that was the whole thing that we had. Like a whole that was cantankerous with Blue Jays fans. Ooh,
Dangerous.
man. See,
Which is
that's
the
the hard.
force.
I'm still going to root for the Blue Jays, even though some Blue Jays fans are total jackwads. But
Oh no! Oh my God, the storylines. Shohei on the plane to Toronto.
yeah, dude, we're talking
Oh,
about
my
like
Ah, this is gonna be great.
betrayal, intrigue,
John Morosi redemption.
poutine fries. We're talking about.
Shohei on the plane to. Oh my god.
Mhm.
You know they're gonna tweet it out. It's like, oh, Shohei's on the plane.
It's
to
Shohei's on the
Toronto
plane
now
to give it to Toronto. It's because for a game, but he's on the.
for game 2. Or who has home field in this?
We gotta actually put together like some sort of meme for that, like ASAP, so that we're the first ones to do it. Because yeah, the Shohei on a flight to Toronto again is gonna be perfect.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Oh,
But yeah, I
that's-
think
I rooted
I
for
think
Joe
I got
Carter.
Dodgers in 5.
I totally rooted for
Dodgers.
Joe Carter and the Blue Jays back in the day.
Dodgers
But
in 5.
there will be no new World Series champion, first time champions. Seattle's out now. That were the only ones that hadn't won a World Series yet. So
I'm just really happy for Vlad.
Brewers have never won.
Vladdy Jr., man. I've already said-
Honestly, the biggest winners tonight are Toronto Maple Leafs fans. The curse is broken.
Yes. Oh, if Vladdy Jr.
sure.
broke the Maple Leafs curse,
Oh yeah.
They're the biggest winners. Is Maple Leafs fans.
By the way, did you guys see Brewers
Could you
fans?
imagine if they had lost that game? That would they would never be out of that. Oh,
if George Springer didn't have 16-inch softballs for testicles, he probably would have lost that game. Holy
you guys-
shit.
Have you guys seen Brewers fans trying to like claim the Milwaukee Braves?
I have seen that.
Jesus.
Really?
And it's like, no, well, congratulations, Milwaukee, but that's a completely different franchise.
Braves and congratulations, Atlanta. That's your title. Like what
Oh.
the hell? They are so
No.
sad.
I
So
will
sad.
never recognize that. That's for sure.
That was
Never.
part. Again, so we weren't on the
All
air.
right, all right. Hold
I
on.
got my first death threat from a Milwaukee Brewers fan. They told me
Right.
they wanted to hang me from the rafters. They said there's room up there for me. So
Well, there is room.
they would
yeah, I
have
mean,
Is
there
it-
was-
And there's a lot of
that was the
That was
response.
a death
A
threat.
lot of room up there. So
One of my favorite all-time comebacks. This is a long time ago. This is when the Blackhawks were rolling. I went to a Hawks game in Nashville with my cousin Jay, who still covers the Blackhawks for CHGO. Make sure you check his shit out.
Crazy. Sorry.
And we're walking into the game, and some guy's like, "Oh, fuck the Blackhawks! You're all fucking overrated." And Jay goes, "Where do you guys keep your banners? Because we put ours out. Do you guys have like a room you guys hang them up in, or like, is there like a closet or something?" And like this dude just turned like bright red and just had nothing. He was so just done. And it was like, but Jay, you got to know Jay, but Jay keeps things he doesn't get angry. And so like his voice was just very like, so where do you guys keep your banners? Like it was so like chill, like just,
The tone hurt their feelings even probably worse.
yeah, it was so great. It was like the guy that tried to run me off the road the other day, and I got next to him. He thought I was going to flick him off, and I blew him a kiss. He was so confused. He was so confused. It was awesome. But
I had a sign that said, "I'll pray for you." when they
just
cut me off.
for old time's sake, because it would make me happy. Can we get a NASCAR minute with NASCAR Mitch? but I dislocated my shoulder.
Yeah,
But,
I just pulled a muscle.
I'm old.
Well, this is very exciting. Yeah, well, there's only 2 races left in the season right now. They're in the round of 8 of the playoffs. They started with 16. They have now cut it down to 8. Denny Hamlin won the first round, so he had locked himself in. So Talladega was a big one. The defending champion, Joey Logano, he was below the cut line. He needed a big day. He was leading most of the race with his teammate, Ryan Blaney. But near the end of the race, they kind of fell out of line. Denny Hamlin's teammate, Joe Gibbs Racing teammate, Chase Briscoe, won the race. He has locked himself in. So now it's coming down to next week. We're at Martinsville. Final race of this round of 8 to decide who goes to the championship 4. Denny Hamlin, he's won 60 wins. He has 60 wins. He's top 10 all time now. He's never won a championship, so he's in the championship. Could this be his year? A lot of people are saying it is. He got a cigar, or his dad did anyway, from Michael Jordan, who owns one of the teams with them. He's like, you can't smoke a cigar until Denny wins the championship. His dad now has health issues, so it was a big emotional win when he won last week in Vegas. So everyone's kind of, Denny's usually hated across the NASCAR space, but a lot of people are pulling for him for that. So 2 spots remain to get into the championship. Right now, Christopher Bell's in a pretty good spot. He could get in on points, but Ryan Blaney, he needs a win. Dirty Chase Elliott, he needs a win. Joey Logano, he's going to need a win. So it'll come down to Martinsville next week. We'll see who locks in the final 2 spots at that paperclip-looking track and who will race for the championship in Phoenix. That is your NASCAR Minute. Unfazed. What a pro.
Good job. And in the car, what a driver.
In the car. Yeah.
What a driver for not
Shout out our
pulling
drivers.
hard left to
Say hi,
continue
Joe.
the NASCAR race. Great job.
That was fantastic, dude.
And also, Jack Luke, by the way, looks like Carrot Top. I'm just saying, that's what Carrot Top looks like now.
it is Carrot Top, dude.
It is.
I know, that's fucking hilarious, by the way. There's no more, is it Uncrustables? I always call them Crustables, but they're Uncrustables.
Did the frog photo with the
Cigarette made it in.
the
Yep.
frog photo with the cigarettes?
We didn't get bubble bath. We didn't get bubble
That's
bath.
it.
But
Yeah, that's
there it is. There it is. So good. So good.
The sound effects is fantastic. Okay, so
That was perfectly timed. I have no idea why there's a frog sound effect on our soundboard, but there is.
so
We got
are we gonna do this again? Who knows?
Yes.
It's the off season now,
Hopefully.
but we probably will. We'll do them every once in a while. We'll see how it goes. I really can't thank all of you enough for tuning in. All the words of encouragement. I just checked. I got some nice DMs on Twitter. People not trying to kill me, but saying they're glad we're back.
to have you back. So
Well, if you're glad we're back, let us know, and then maybe we'll do more of these.
And if you're I'm gonna say this: if you're the one with the burner account,
I love you.
I don't, and I will find.
But the one that took my name, that's really weird. Can we work something out there? But yeah. So, say this one more time for all those fids. That's Mitch. I'm Zoe. This was the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. We'll catch you guys next time.